It's over. The year 2025 has finally reached its conclusion. The final day of December is here, and if you're reading this right now, if you've been guided to this exact message on this exact day, it's because you're about to experience something extraordinary. Not tomorrow, not in the future. Today, right now. On this final day of December, something is shifting in your reality that will determine whether 2026 becomes the most miraculous year of your life, or just another year of the same struggles, the same patterns, the same limitations. And here's what most people don't understand about this final day of December. This isn't just the end of a calendar year. This is a cosmic portal, a spiritual gateway, a universal reset point where the energies of what was and what will be converge into a single moment of pure potentiality. And in that convergence, certain signs appear, certain experiences manifest, certain phenomena occur. And if you're experiencing these specific things today, on this final day of December, it's the universe's way of telling you, prepare yourself. You're about to enter a miracle year. Not a good year. Not a better year. A miracle year. The kind of year where things that seemed impossible suddenly become possible. Where doors that were locked for years suddenly swing open. Where opportunities that you stopped believing in suddenly appear out of nowhere. Where people who are meant to be in your life suddenly show up. Where abundance that you've been struggling for suddenly flows effortlessly. Where clarity that you've been seeking suddenly crystallizes. Where healing that you've been praying for suddenly manifests. That kind of year. But here's the critical part. Not everyone who crosses from 2025 into 2026 will experience a miracle year. Most people will enter 2026 and experience more of what they experienced in 2025. Same struggles, same blocks, same limitations, same cycles. Because they're not attuned to the signs. They're not aware of the portal. They're not conscious of what's happening on this final day of December. But you are. Because you were guided to this message. Because you're reading these words right now. Because something in your soul recognized that this information is for you. And now I'm going to tell you exactly what signs to look for on this final day of December. Exactly what experiences indicate that you're being prepared for a miracle year. Exactly what phenomena signal that the universe is positioning you for unprecedented breakthrough. And as I describe these signs, if you recognize even one of them in your experience today, you need to pay very close attention to what I'm going to tell you to do. Because these signs are not random. They're not coincidental. They're intentional communications from the universe. They're cosmic confirmations. They're spiritual activations. And they require your conscious participation to fully activate the miracle year that's being prepared for you. So let me tell you about the first sign. And this one is subtle, but it's the most important one. If you're experiencing this today, on the final day of December, everything else I'm about to tell you will make complete sense. The first sign is an unusual sense of completion. Not relief, not happiness, not excitement about the new year, but completion. A deep, profound, almost inexplicable sense that something is finished, done, complete, that a chapter has closed, that a cycle has ended, that a phase of your life is over. And this feeling isn't about any specific event. It's not because you accomplished some goal or finished some project. It's deeper than that. It's a soul-level knowing that whatever you were supposed to learn, experience, or endure in this past season is now complete. And here's why this matters. Completion is the prerequisite for new beginning. You cannot truly begin something new while you're still energetically attached to what was. You cannot step into a miracle year while you're still carrying the frequency of the struggle year. You cannot activate new possibilities while you're still operating from old patterns. Completion must happen first. The old must end before the new can begin. And the universe orchestrates this completion in the final days of the year. Specifically on this final day of December. This is when the energetic cords to the old year are severed. This is when the attachments to what was are released. This is when the patterns that defined the previous 12 months are dissolved. And if you're feeling this sense of completion today, it means the universe has successfully completed the release process in you. You're free, you're clear, You're ready for what's coming. But most people resist this feeling of completion. They misinterpret it. They think something is wrong because they're not feeling excited or optimistic about the new year. They think they're depressed because they're not in a celebratory mood. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is sacred closure, divine completion, necessary ending. And if you're experiencing this today, don't fight it. Don't try to force yourself into some artificial excitement. Honor the completion. Acknowledge the ending. Feel the closure. Because that's what opens the door for the miracle year to begin. The second sign you might be experiencing today is unexpected solitude. Even if you're surrounded by people, even if you're at a party or gathering, even if you're with family, you feel alone. Not lonely, but alone. Separate. Like you're observing everything from a distance. Like you're here, but not fully here. Like part of you has already left, and is somewhere else. Somewhere beyond this moment. And this isn't antisocial behavior. This isn't depression. This isn't you being weird. This is spiritual preparation. This is your soul beginning to detach from the collective frequency, so that you can attune to a different frequency, the frequency of the miracle year. And that attunement requires temporary separation. It requires energetic distance. It requires you to pull back from the normal, the ordinary, the collective consciousness, so that you can tune into something higher. Think of it like changing radio stations. You can't listen to two stations at the same time. You have to stop listening to one before you can hear the other. And right now, on this final day of December, your soul is changing stations. It's tuning out the frequency of struggle, limitation, and lack that dominated 2025. And it's tuning into the frequency of miracles, abundance, and breakthrough that will define 2026. But that tuning process requires solitude. Even in a crowd, even surrounded by people, your soul needs to be alone to make this adjustment. So if you're feeling this unexpected solitude today, don't fight it. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't force yourself to engage when you don't feel like engaging. Honor the solitude. Embrace the separation. Allow your soul to do the work it needs to do, because this temporary aloneness is preparing you for extraordinary connection in the year to come. The third sign is experiencing intense memories flooding back. All day today, you've been remembering things. Random things. Things from early in the year. Things from years ago. Good memories. Painful memories. Significant moments. Seemingly insignificant moments. And they're just coming to you. Unbidden, unplanned. As if someone is showing you a highlight reel of your life. This is not random. This is the universe helping you complete the integration process. Every experience you had this year, every challenge you faced, every lesson you learned, every person you encountered, every moment that shaped you, all of it needs to be integrated into your consciousness before you can move forward. And the way integration happens is through remembering, through reviewing, through seeing the patterns, through recognizing the threads, through understanding how everything you experienced was preparing you for what's coming. So if memories are flooding you today, don't push them away. Don't distract yourself from them. Don't judge yourself for dwelling on the past. You're not dwelling, you're integrating. Let the memories come. Observe them, feel them, acknowledge them, thank them for the lessons they brought, and then let them go. Because each memory you process and release today is creating more space for the miracles of 2026 to enter. The fourth sign is sudden clarity about someone or something. All year you've been confused about a particular situation. Maybe a relationship, maybe a job, maybe a decision, maybe a person. You couldn't see it clearly. You couldn't understand it fully. You kept going back and forth. But today, on this final day of December, suddenly you just know. The confusion lifts. The fog clears. You see the truth. And it's not because you figured it out. It's not because someone explained it to you. It just suddenly became obvious. This is cosmic download. This is the universe giving you one final piece of clarity before the new year begins, so that you don't carry confusion into 2026. Because confusion blocks miracles. Uncertainty prevents breakthrough. When you're unclear about something, You can't move forward with confidence. You hesitate. You second guess. You stay stuck. But when clarity comes, everything shifts. You know what to do. You know what to choose. You know what to release. You know what to embrace. So if you received sudden clarity today about anything, trust it. Don't second guess it. Don't wait for more confirmation. Don't let fear talk you out of what you suddenly know to be true. That clarity is a gift. It's guidance. It's the universe preparing you to enter 2026 with certainty, with confidence, with the ability to make aligned decisions immediately, instead of spending months in confusion. The fifth sign is physical exhaustion that has nothing to do with activity. You're tired, deeply tired, bone tired, deeply tired, bone tired, soul tired, and you haven't done anything particularly exhausting. You haven't had an unusually busy day. You haven't been physically overworked, but you're exhausted. Like you could sleep for a week. Like you can barely keep your eyes open. Like your body is made of lead. This is energetic recalibration. Your entire energy system is being upgraded. Your frequency is being shifted. Your vibration is being elevated. And that process is exhausting. It requires enormous amounts of energy. Your body, your mind, your spirit. They're all working overtime to integrate the new frequency, to release the old patterns, to rewire your neural pathways, to restructure your energy field, to prepare you for operating at a completely different level in 2026. So if you're exhausted today, rest. Don't fight it. Don't drink caffeine to override it. Don't push through it. Listen to your body. Sleep if you can. Lie down if you need to. Move slowly. Be gentle with yourself, because this exhaustion is not weakness. It's transformation. And you need to honor what your system is doing by giving it the rest it requires. The sixth sign is zero desire to make resolutions or plans for the new year. Everyone around you is talking about their goals for 2026, their resolutions, their intentions, their plans, and you have nothing. No goals, no resolutions, no plans, and it's not because you're unmotivated or don't care. It's because something in you knows that making plans right now would be premature. That the miracles coming in 2026 are so beyond what you can currently imagine that any plans you make now would be too small, too limited, too based on old thinking. This is divine trust. This is your soul saying, I don't need to plan because I trust what's being planned for me. This is you operating at a level of surrender and faith that most people never reach. Most people need to control, need to plan, need to know. But you're being prepared for miracles. And miracles can't be planned. They can't be controlled. They can't be predicted. You can only receive them. And that requires releasing the need to know how everything is going to work out. So if you have no desire to make resolutions today, that's not a problem. That's a sign. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not failing at being goal-oriented. You're operating in a higher paradigm. The paradigm of divine orchestration, where your job is not to plan, but to trust. Not to control, but to allow. Not to force, but to receive. The seventh sign is experiencing synchronicities all day. Numbers appearing repeatedly. Songs that are relevant to your situation playing randomly. Running into people you were just thinking about. Receiving messages that answer questions you were just asking in your mind. Seeing signs and symbols everywhere. And these aren't just one or two coincidences. They're happening constantly, all day, to the point where you can't ignore them. This is the universe confirming that you're on the right path, that you're aligned, that you're tuned in, that you're ready. Synchronicities don't happen to everyone. They happen to people who are vibrating at a frequency that allows them to perceive the connections between the physical and spiritual realms. They happen to people who are awake, aware, attuned. And if you're experiencing multiple synchronicities today, it means your frequency is exactly where it needs to be to receive the miracles of 2026. Each synchronicity is a nod from the universe, a wink, a confirmation, a reminder that you're not alone, that you're being guided, that everything is unfolding perfectly. And the more you notice these synchronicities, the more they multiply. Because attention amplifies. What you focus on expands. And when you acknowledge the signs, the universe sends more signs. The 8th sign is feeling pulled towards something specific tonight. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's being alone. Maybe it's going somewhere specific. Maybe it's doing something that seems random, but you feel strongly about it. And you can't explain why you feel this pull. You just know you're supposed to do it. This is intuitive guidance. This is your higher self directing you to be in a specific place, doing a specific thing, at a specific time, because that positioning is necessary for what's about to happen. The universe is orchestrating your final positioning for the transition from 2025 to 2026. And that positioning requires you to be somewhere specific, doing something specific in a specific state of consciousness. So if you feel pulled towards something tonight, follow that pull. Don't rationalize it away. Don't let logic override intuition. Don't let other people's expectations keep you from doing what you feel called to do. Your higher self knows what you need, knows where you need to be, knows what you need to do. Trust that knowing. Follow that guidance, even if it doesn't make sense. Especially if it doesn't make sense. The 9th sign is emotional flatness. You're not happy. You're not sad. You're not excited. You're not anxious. You're just neutral, flat, like you're in a state of emotional suspension. And this might feel wrong because everyone around you is either celebrating or reflecting, feeling something about the end of the year. But you feel nothing. Just a strange, quiet neutrality. This is emotional 0 point. This is your emotional body being reset to neutral so that you can enter 2026 without any emotional residue from 2025. Emotions are energy, and emotional energy carries patterns. If you enter the new year still carrying emotional patterns from the old year, those patterns will recreate the same experiences. But if you enter from emotional 0 point, from neutrality, you're a blank slate. You can create anything. You can experience anything. You're not predetermined by emotional patterns. So if you're feeling emotionally flat today, don't try to force yourself to feel something. Don't think something is wrong with you. This flatness is preparation, it's clearing, it's reset, and it's necessary for the miracles to come. The 10th sign is seeing the number sequences everywhere. 11, 11, 12, 12, 2, 22, 3, 33. Whatever your specific number sequence is, you're seeing it repeatedly today, on clocks, on license plates, on receipts, on page numbers, everywhere. And it's happening so often that it's impossible to dismiss as coincidence. These number sequences are cosmic timestamps. They're markers in time that indicate alignment with divine timing. They're the universe's way of saying, you're exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be here. And when you see them repeatedly on the final day of December, it's confirmation that you're entering 2026 in perfect timing. That the miracles prepared for you are going to manifest at exactly the right moments. Now here's what you need to understand. If you're experiencing even one of these signs today, you're being prepared for a miracle year. But if you're experiencing multiple signs, if 3 or 4 or more of these signs are happening simultaneously, you're not just entering a miracle year, you're entering a destiny year. A year when everything you were put on this planet to do begins manifesting. A year when your purpose becomes clear and your path becomes obvious. A year when all the preparation, all the waiting, all the struggle of previous years suddenly makes sense because you see what it was all leading to. But experiencing these signs is only half of the equation. You also have to respond correctly. You have to do your part. Because the universe can position you for miracles, but you have to be in the right state to receive them. So let me tell you exactly what you need to do in these final hours of 2025 to ensure you're properly positioned for the miracle year. First, you need to consciously complete 2025, not just let it end. Consciously complete it. Take time tonight, before midnight, to review the year. Not with judgment, not with regret, but with acknowledgement. What happened this year? What did you learn? What did you survive? What did you release? What did you gain? Acknowledge it all, thank it all, and then declare completion. Say out loud, 2025 is complete. I release this year with gratitude. I am ready for what's next. This conscious completion is crucial, because without it, you energetically drag 2025 into 2026. You take the patterns with you. You carry the frequency forward. But when you consciously complete, when you declare the end, you sever the energetic cords. You close the chapter cleanly. You create the space for something new to begin. Second, you need to set your frequency for midnight. The moment when 2025 becomes 2026. The moment when the calendar flips, that is the most powerful moment of the entire year. Because in that instant, in that threshold between what was and what will be, you have the opportunity to imprint your frequency onto the entire year ahead. Whatever frequency you're holding at midnight becomes your baseline frequency for 2026, so you need to be very intentional about what state you're in at midnight. Don't be drunk, don't be unconscious, don't be in a low-frequency state of anger, fear, or resentment. Be in the highest frequency you can access: joy, gratitude, love, peace, excitement, faith, hope. Whatever high-frequency emotion you can genuinely feel, amplify it as the clock approaches midnight. And here's how you do that. Starting around 11:45 p.m., remove yourself from distractions. Get quiet. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart, and begin to breathe deeply. As you breathe, think about everything you're grateful for, everything you're excited about, everything you're looking forward to. Feel those emotions. Let them build. Let them intensify. And as the clock strikes midnight, let those emotions peak. Let them overflow. Let them saturate every cell of your being. Because whatever you're feeling at midnight gets locked in. That becomes your frequency set point for the year. And if you lock in a high frequency, you'll naturally attract high-frequency experiences all year. The miracles will flow because you're vibrating at the frequency of miracles. Third, you need to speak your declaration for 2026, not a resolution, not a goal, a declaration, a statement of what is true about your new year. And this declaration should be spoken out loud, with conviction, with certainty, with authority, as close to midnight as possible. Your declaration might sound something like this: 2026 is my miracle year. I am aligned with my highest path. I am open to receive unprecedented blessings. I am ready for divine opportunities. I am magnetizing the right people, situations, and resources. I am operating in my purpose. I am living in abundance. I am experiencing breakthrough after breakthrough. This is my year. This is my time. This is my season. Speak whatever feels true for you, but speak it with power, with belief, with expectation. Because your words have creative power. What you declare, you create. What you speak, you activate. What you announce, you set in motion. Fourth, you need to stay conscious for the first moments of 2026. After midnight strikes, after the new year begins, don't immediately go to sleep. Don't immediately return to distraction. Stay present for at least a few more minutes. Stay in the high-frequency state. Stay in the awareness that something significant just happened. You just crossed a threshold. You just entered a new timeline. You just activated a new reality. And in those first moments, notice what you feel. Notice what you think. Notice what comes to you. Because the first thoughts, feelings, and impressions of the new year are often prophetic. They're often indicators of what's coming. They're often downloads of information about your year ahead. So pay attention, stay alert, stay conscious, and receive whatever comes through in those first sacred moments of 2026. Now let me tell you what's going to happen. If you do all of this, if you recognize the signs, if you consciously complete 2025, if you set your frequency at midnight, if you speak your declaration, if you stay conscious in the first moments of the new year, what happens then? You activate the miracle year. You don't just hope for it. You don't just wish for it. You activate it. You turn it on. You set it in motion. And starting in January, you'll begin to see evidence of it. Opportunities will appear that weren't there before. Doors will open that were previously locked. People will enter your life who are aligned with your purpose. Resources will flow that were previously blocked. Clarity will come about situations that were confusing. Healing will manifest in areas that were painful. Breakthroughs will happen in areas where you were stuck, and it won't just be one or two good things. It will be a pattern, a momentum, a flow, where one miracle leads to another, where one breakthrough opens the door for the next, where one blessing creates space for more blessings. Because that's how miracle years work. They don't give you one isolated good thing. They give you a cascade, a domino effect, a chain reaction of miracles. Within the first weeks of January, you'll notice the shift. Synchronicities will multiply. Things that used to take months of effort will happen in days. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable will suddenly dissolve. People who ignored you will suddenly see you. Opportunities you've been chasing will suddenly chase you. The universe will rearrange itself around your new frequency, around your activated state, around the declaration you spoke at midnight. And here's what makes this even more powerful. The miracles won't just be external, they'll be internal, too. You'll feel different, think different, move different. The anxiety that plagued you in 2025 will lift. The doubt that held you back will dissolve. The fear that kept you small will vanish. You'll operate from a place of knowing instead of hoping, from certainty instead of questioning, from faith instead of fear. Your relationships will transform. People who drained you will naturally fall away. People who elevate you will naturally draw closer. New connections will form that feel destined, like you've known these people forever, even though you just met. And these connections won't just be pleasant, they'll be purposeful. Every person who enters your life in this miracle year will be there for a reason, bringing something you need, teaching something you must learn, or opening a door you need to walk through. Your finances will shift, not necessarily overnight, but consistently, steadily, increasingly. Money that was stuck will start moving. Income streams you didn't expect will open. Debts will resolve. Savings will grow. And more importantly, your relationship with money will transform. The scarcity mindset will dissolve. The fear around finances will release. You'll begin to trust that you're provided for, that you're supported, that the universe is abundant and so are you. Your purpose will clarify. If you've been confused about what you're here to do, that confusion will lift. If you've been searching for your calling, you'll find it. If you've known your purpose but haven't been able to step into it fully, the obstacles will remove themselves and the path will open. And you won't just understand your purpose intellectually. You'll feel it in your bones. You'll know it in your soul. And you'll have the courage and clarity to pursue it fully. But you have to do your part. You have to recognize the signs. You have to respond correctly. You have to position yourself properly. Because the universe can offer you a miracle year, but you have to accept it. You have to activate it. You have to step into it. And if you don't, if you ignore the signs, if you cross into 2026 unconsciously, if you're drunk or distracted or in a low-frequency state at midnight, you'll miss the activation. You'll enter 2026, but you won't enter the miracle timeline. You'll experience another year, probably a fine year, maybe even a good year, but not a miracle year. And the difference between a good year and a miracle year is the difference between getting what you worked for and receiving what you never could have worked for. A good year is about effort and achievement. A miracle year is about grace and receiving. A good year is linear. A miracle year is exponential. A good year makes sense. A miracle year defies logic. In a good year, you set goals and work toward them. In a miracle year, opportunities you never imagined find you. In a good year, you push doors open through effort. In a miracle year, doors swing open before you even reach them. In a good year, you make things happen. In a miracle year, things happen for you, through you, around you, with an ease and flow that feels almost supernatural. And here's the truth that most people never realize. Miracle years aren't reserved for special people. They're available to anyone who knows how to activate them. To anyone who recognizes the signs. To anyone who positions themselves correctly at the threshold moment. To anyone who crosses from the old year into the new year, consciously, intentionally, in a high-frequency state, with clear declaration of what they're stepping into. That's the difference between those who experience miracle years and those who don't. Not luck, not favoritism, not worthiness, just awareness, just consciousness, just intentional activation. So make the choice right now. Today, on this final day of December, recognize the signs. Honor what's happening. Do what I've told you to do, and activate your miracle year. Because chosen ones don't just stumble into miracle years, they activate them. They claim them. They step into them consciously, intentionally, deliberately. And that's what you're being called to do right now. This is your final day of December, your final hours of 2025, your final opportunity to position yourself for the greatest year of your life. Don't waste it. Don't miss it. Don't let it pass unconsciously. The signs are here. The portal is open. The miracle year is waiting. All you have to do is step through. All you have to do is say yes. All you have to do is be present, conscious and intentional as the clock strikes midnight and the new year begins. Are you ready? Then let's do this. Together, consciously, powerfully. Let's activate your miracle year, right now, tonight. As 2025 ends and 2026 begins, the universe is watching. The cosmos is aligned. Your higher self is ready. The only question is, are you ready? Are you willing to step into the miracle timeline? Are you prepared to receive what's been prepared for you? Because if you are, if you're truly ready, then everything changes starting tonight. Your miracle year begins the moment you activate it. And that moment is now. Your miracle year starts now.